Hello, everyone, and welcome to an impromptu live stream. We've been doing some recorded videos lately, but after yesterday, after we saw what happened with the market, I'm like, you know what? Until this ETF gets approved, we should probably do a lot more lives because the market is a little volatile. So let's just talk about what's going on in the news today. So first of all, just like the thumbnail and title suggest, we're taking a look at the decoupling of Bitcoin from traditional markets. Everybody's happy about that. And that's great. I mean, it looks like things are going, but I mean, you have to remember that, of course, this is a once in a lifetime event with the Bitcoin ETF possibly or more probable getting approved by tomorrow, which would be Wednesday. So this is an article from CoinDesk, and it just talks about how Bitcoin decouples from NASDAQ amid ETF speculation. This is a 40-day correlation between the two, has declined to zero. Now, again, if we have a negative correlation, that means they do the opposite things. One can go up, the other one can go down. Of course, positive, they kind of move in tandem. And then, of course, if it's zero, they do whatever they want to do. So with this one, I just had to take a look at it. And there's some great data on this piece, and it's really good. And I linked in the description. You can check it out. But, I mean, in all honesty, we knew this was going to happen. And inevitably, Bitcoin, the entire crypto market, will have its day. They will have its bull run. And this is not, November 2022. This is a whole different section of the 4-year cycle. So Bitcoin, I was kind of surprised as I took a look at this, because we've all been having this jubilation. We're very happy. We're, and everybody's essentially pretty much nice on crypto Twitter, which is weird right now. But you see these peaks and valleys, and you think to yourself, well, Bitcoin must be up massively. And it is over a year, 170%. But over 30 days, look at this. Over 30 days, it's only up 6.5%. Taken into account for, again, the increase and the decreases across for Bitcoin. So 30 days, it's been pretty much not, these magnificent pulls. But again, I'll take 6.5% increase because, after we saw the decline, that was a 77% drop from all-time high when I went from 69,000 all the way down to 17,600. So I'm pretty happy. I'm happy about that. But it was just kind of surprising me. I'm like, wow, 6.5%. However, traditional markets, you're not doing as hot. So if we take a look at 30 days in S&P 500, you're only up 2.59%. And of course, just getting to Bitcoin, which is what's outperforming everything so far, you're up pretty darn well if you're just in Bitcoin. And then we take a look at the NASDAQ, of course, we're just up a little under 3%. So again, Bitcoin is decoupling. They are doing good things. And why is that? Well, obviously, it's all about the ETF. So everybody's talking about it, and I am very happy if this actually gets to go through. But again, I'll believe it when I see it. So the SEC hustles to answer latest Bitcoin ETF filings. This just happened yesterday after close of business, which is kind of weird. But as all these different institutions, they've kind of moved around and they're trying to jockey for position on the fees that they will attest to, the SEC sent them out these notices and said, hey, we need some updates. Regulators sent comments just hours after would-be issuers filed documents detailed for their fees. The comments addressed just minor details in the amended S1 forms rather than significant changes and should not affect the timeline for a potential approval by the regulator, which is interesting because Perry-Ann was the founder and CEO of Digital Chamber. She's not somebody who likes to spread FUD, advocate for Bitcoin, crypto, and blockchain tech. She says, hey, this just happened last night. This was at 8:30 p.m. The SEC just issued additional comments on pending applicants. S1, this is a delay signal, she says. But you have to understand, it's just one person's opinion. And of course, there's going to be bullish and there's going to be bearish sentiment. And James Seifert comes out, who is, it's him and Balchunas, I think his name is, from Bloomberg. And they're the guys that have been saying, look, this is 99% going to happen. And let's hope they're right. And he comes out and says, nah, that's not true. He said, this is true. Comments came back on those S1 documents. The fees, we all went crazy over this morning. Expect to see more amendments tomorrow because of this. That said, I don't think this is necessarily a delay signal. Again, we're just kind of like parsing hairs and really getting into the weeds of it. If it happens, it happens. Again, it'd be great for all of our portfolios, I think. But if it doesn't matter because the narrative's already been set. The big institutions are here. Wall Street institutions are actually here to get into the arena that is crypto. So to me, I'm happy either way. But I will say this. as this all comes about, and we talked yesterday about taking a look at how things compare against investing into Bitcoin over time. We took a look at different ETFs. We took a look at real estate. We took a look at precious metals. And to me, it's just kind of amazing that people bet against it right now. I mean, we've got 13 years of data that just takes a look at it. So I'm always I'm exasperated by people who say, you know what, I'm going to short it. Bitcoin ETF approval expected soon. Bears lose $100 million. I have no tears for you. I mean, if you shorted it, that's on you. I don't know why people do it, but I mean, I guess people like to trade and gamble. That's fine. 155 million in shorts liquidated in the past 24 hours. And let's just take a look here. So yeah, in the last 24 hours, actually, I got 128 million. This is from coinglass.com. This is 24-hour rect. 225 million. And we can just see that, well, I guess we add it all up. 12 hours for rect is 81 million, 4 hours, 21, and the last hour, you had 4.36 million. What you can see down here is that the majority of people, for some reason, on 7th of January, 2 days ago, people really went heavier into shorting Bitcoin. I mean, I guess if you want to do that, but I think it's a recipe for disaster as people are really through and through doing a lot more longs. Now, I know people will say, but Rob, you don't understand because, you know, in the game of investing, usually when people are doing too much, you want to go the opposite route. I don't know, man. Sometimes the tide is going to carry you to the right direction. And maybe this is it. I could be wrong, but I think in the long term, we'll be okay. Anyhow, let me just think about that in the comment section. And all these things that are going on, there's only one thing. There's only one thing that buoys my hopes. Jim Kramer. And if it wasn't for Jim and the inverse Kramer, I may think to myself, maybe there's something that could go wrong. But Jim does it again. This guy is amazing how he can call everything wrong and still have a job. It's just great. So I'm going to let you listen to this. This is 13 seconds, and you can be the judge, but Kramer does it again.
Digital. What are we doing with these? You know, let's stop fooling around. If you want Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's topping out, by the way. So I'm going to say enough is enough, and ka-ching is ka-ching. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the conclusion of the lightning round.
Oof, great. So you've heard it here first. Jim Kramer says that we topped out for Bitcoin. That's good news for us because that guy, amazing he has a job. So let me just think about that. And then not just to talk about Bitcoin, we also have to, give a little attention to the alts that are out there. I know some people like to invest in those. I am one of those people. Solana. So this was a story from The Block. And it states developer retention in Solana ecosystem increased in 2023. Foundation reports. Again, if you're going to look at where the different projects are going, just look at developers. And this one comes out and says, according to the report, 400 to 500 Solana developers are graduating from multiple developer boot camps every 6 months, with job listings growing 500% throughout the year. So again, this isn't about developers coming on. It's just retention, which sounds pretty good. They're retaining that many. The improved retention rate helped to maintain 2,500 to 3,000 monthly active Solana ecosystem developers during 2023. Look, you don't have developers, you don't have a blockchain. You need people to come in. That's the truth. However, there is one crypto project that even dwarfs Solana. There is a website. I linked it in the description. It's called Crypto Miso. This is all the GitHub commits over the past 3 months. And number one, ICP. And this is not, don't blame me. This is just the data that I see right now. ICP has over 100 contributors, over 1,700 commits. Now, it has dropped off a little bit going into January 7th, 8th, and 9th, but it's still number one. Solana is number two. Sushi, Pancake, Rubik, I know what that is. Bitcoin Cash, eCash, Storage, Mina, I've never heard of those things. Cosmos, all right, status. Bitcoin number 12. I think it's doing just fine. I don't think maybe they have so much going on. Bitcoin Bet2, that'll be the ordinals, NXM, Chainlink, Chia Network, Mask, Vi, and Bitcoin Cash round them off. Now you can see a ton of them. They go all the way down to, I don't know what these are, Moon River, Request, and stuff like that. But again, it's just interesting to see how many developers are actually working on different projects, how many commits are out there, and how many are actually working and getting these commits for GitHub. So we'll see how it all works out. Solana is one of my holds. So of course, I'm a little bit biased. I also hold this one called Dogecoin. And this was a story that actually we covered 2 weeks ago. This is Genevieve Roche-Decter. She's a chief financial analyst for Bloomberg. And she reports that X, or what was called Twitter, they're going to launch peer-to-peer payments. We covered this 2 weeks ago, so it's kind of interesting to me. But what I found out makes me want to think twice about Doge. It states, this is from X, we will launch peer-to-peer payments, unlocking more user utility and new opportunities for commerce, showcasing the power of living more of your life in one place. And this is the reason why they're getting transmitter license in all 50 states in the US, is because X wants to have payments within the X platform. Now, I don't think they're going to use fiat personally. Elon Musk doesn't really say either one way or the other. He says he doesn't really think too much about crypto digital assets, which is quite a change from 2 years ago, but that's neither here nor there. But we covered this story about 2 weeks ago, and I had to look it up, and I'm like, all right, well, I mean, it's 2 weeks old, but what has changed? The whole thing we talked about, it was just speculation. Of course, that's what the whole channel is. You see Elon Musk here? This is his official X account. And under the location, he's got 2 icons. One is X, which will be for, X, Twitter, whatever. And the second one is Dogecoin. See that right there? Dogecoin. That's the logo, Dogecoin. And we said, hey, if you're looking at that, it could be, maybe they're going to use Bitcoin, maybe they're going to use Lightning, maybe they're going to use XRP, maybe they're going to use Cardano, maybe they're going to use Solana, and then we said Dogecoin, hey, he has the logo on his profile. However, if you look today, guess where he's from? He's not from X, and he's not from Dogecoin. He's from Trollheim, as he is the chief troll officer. So if you're gonna put a lot of your investment into Elon Musk, good luck, because he's more volatile than Bitcoin ever is. So that will conclude essentially the news. Oh, there's one little quick update. We did a deep dive into a Web3 game that just came out for Arcana over on our second channel, DGen. That's the more risky plays. That's where you're either going to make a lot of money or lose everything. Usually it's one of those two things that happen. But this one looks pretty good, and we explain why. And of course, Web3, it's got some good pedigree. It's got a lot of people behind it. It's also for the win to earn ratio, or what they're doing is that you're not earning just some Arcana token. You're actually earning Bitcoin. That's why we like it. And we did the video yesterday, and there's an update, which was, we said in the video that the tokens were 500 million tokens, but that's incorrect. There's actually, first of all, there's 5 billion tokens. That's the total supply. But hey, we got that data right from their site. So I don't know what the heck happened on that one. So I'll take that on me. That was on me. But the token distribution, it used in the initial video, it was 3%. And now the token distribution is 25% to all investors, which the IDO just happened yesterday. And I'm waiting for official numbers, but it looks like the IDO is sold out in under 3 minutes. So very successful. And that's what we have for that thing. You want to take a look at that? I think I put it in the description, but it's Dan DGen, and the Web3 game is Arcana. But that's it for today. So look, if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Everything we talk about is time sensitive. Now, if you want to stick around, we'll do a little Q&A, and we'll go over all the things that I missed. And I'll answer all your questions to the best of my abilities. But you got to take off. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Now, let's do a little Q&A. French toaster. Hold on. Hello. Eric says, do you have any niches you're going to expand in this cycle? Trade the chain for trading? No, the only niche, I guess, I've been saying this for quite some time. I think that the bull run that'll kick off will really be DEXs, AI, and Web3 gaming. So I think from there, that's really not the niche. It's just, I think, where things are going to go. So I'll be talking more about that as we move forward. And if you want to catch up on the things that I see that could potentially be big, there's this website. It's called Dan Teaches Crypto. It's 100% free, and all my videos that I feel should be, fairly important will be right there. All right. Nothing. Rusty's here. Rusty Bot. Kate is here. Need more to drop discount. Nas is here. What? That's interesting. Rusty says, just a reminder, everybody who has a crypto.com card, remember to use it. I forgot about it, and now my fiat on it is gone. Did they change something? I don't use crypto.com. So let me know in the comment section what's going on. Interesting. Yeah, BK Lounge says, I hope to see Rob's t-shirt unveiling. If you guys don't know the bet is, I bet Simon Dixon that the ETF wouldn't go through in the first quarter of 2024. A lot of people were calling it for 2023. That didn't happen. A lot of people are calling it for, actually, a lot of people were calling for it last week. That didn't happen. A couple of people said it was going to happen yesterday. That didn't happen. No one's saying it's going to happen today, but everybody's saying it's going to happen tomorrow. Great. If I lose the bet and it actually does come through before the end of March, which is looking pretty good, then there's a t-shirt I have to wear. It's called I Heart Mashinsky. I hate that guy. So I bet that with Simon, and I will proudly wear that shirt on his show and here. And also, if it does come through, I'll also wear it on NFA Live, which we're going to go, I think it's on Guy's channel over at Coin Bureau on Thursday. So that's the bet. Look, I'd rather be wrong, like I said, wrong and rich than right and poor. And I think this will be well for everybody's portfolio. I could be wrong, but it's looking pretty good. Travelers 11 says, if you're uncertain, Simon is better. I got to tell you, we did a video yesterday from Preston Pish. What's how you say his name? Real smart guy. And he just talks about it. He goes, look, if you take a 4-year time frame and not being like, a gambler or a trader or something like that, he said, if you use a 4-year time frame over anything, you're going to come out ahead with Bitcoin. It's just the fact. And there's another website that I loved to show yesterday, which was called Priced in Bitcoin. It's pretty good. I'll show you right now. And you can just take a look at Priced in Bitcoin, pricedinbitcoin21.com. And essentially my favorite one was looking at housing because we like real estate. And the United States median new home. Actually, you know what? Let me go back. Let me go to housing and go to UK average house. The United Kingdom average housing. Let's see. And let's do all. And let's compare that against fiat. Oof, same thing. So it looks like you guys topped out. How much you paying for a house over there? Oh, it's pretty good. 293,000, 281,000. Again, all this is you just take a look at the graph. And of course, as the price of Bitcoin goes up, from 2011, it would cost you a lot of Bitcoin to buy a house that was worth $166,000, right? But of course, as the price of Bitcoin goes up, if you want to denominate in dollars, you can, if you want to think that way. But now, you're looking at, for a house of 281,000, you have to pay 602,713,000 Satoshis. And if you don't want to do that, where is it? Let's break this into, this is what you should do. There's a little bar right here. You can switch off sats and just put it in straight Bitcoin. So now check this out. Check this out. In 2012, to buy a house worth $166,000, you would need 33,374 Bitcoin. That's a lot of Bitcoin. But just a year later, you only need 159. Wow. And right now, well, that's 2017. And then right now, of course, no way. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you only need 6 Bitcoin to buy a house of 281,000. So you can do this. Show your friends, show your family. Because even me and my wife were like, wow, we love real estate, but it's not a good time to invest in it right now. Now's the time to invest into Bitcoin. Personally, I can't give you financial advice, but if you just look at this chart, it's looking pretty, it's a compelling case. I will say that for sure. So check out that website, pricedinbitcoin21.com. Makes things a lot simpler to check it out. All right. Fees. I'm going to talk to you about fees because right now, let's take a look. There's a website. Fees. There we go. It's bitcoininfocharts.com. Let me show you. Bitcoin info charts. And So going back 3 years, we can see the average transaction fee for Bitcoin was $60 at the very height. And I know people were upset. I wasn't too happy about that. And now, of course, with ordinals, the price goes up exponentially, right? Actually, over here, this is when ordinals kind of hit. Let me just blow this up to 3 months. That might help us. Okay. Average transaction fee, yeah, December 17, 2023, it was $37 to move Bitcoin. And then we come out here. That's not the ideal for me. I will say, I'm not really happy about that. But in all honesty, I'm not moving Bitcoin around too much. And you know how people always talk about how Bitcoin is gold 2.0? I don't know how much it costs to move gold. Right? I have some gold. I have physical gold. But to move it around, especially across borders, how much does that cost you? Has anybody done that? It's got to be more than $28 or $32 to move, millions of dollars worth of gold across borders. So if we take a look at it and go, well, if it is gold 2.0 and hedge against inflation, you take a look at it, or a store of value, or it retains your purchasing power. We take a look at that and say, well, how much does it cost to move gold? Well, now we can say it's not on par with gold. It's a heck of a lot better. That's just one thing. Again, I know people will say, well, that's not a great argument, Rob. I want it to be cheap and fast and simple. And I get you. But if you take a look at, other precious metals, it does make a compelling case. Red Panda Pie, who had a great comment on the NFA Live. I want to give Panda Pie his or her due, where we were talking about DGen channels, and Guy said, I think I'm going to, Guy was thinking about, he wasn't thinking about it, but he said, what if we did it like a DGen type of plays? And Panda Pie said, yeah, you'd call it CBDC, which would be Coin Bureau DGen Club. So very, very smart Pie. But Panda Pie says, I quite understand people shorting Bitcoin. We often hear you have to do the opposite when the majority run the same way. Rat race. It's true. Very true. And I can't really say too much about that because sometimes it works out. But here's the thing. No, I really can't debate that. I will just say that, again, I don't know which way to go here in the short term, but in the long term, I'm pretty well situated. And just so everybody knows, that we did a video this weekend about one of the condos that we sold and how much we would have made. We bought a condo for $260,000 outright. And if we would have put that in Bitcoin, we would have had $1.8 million at the top. But we'd still have almost $1 million now. So we sold that condo here in Puerto Rico, and we'll probably roll 50% of the proceeds into Bitcoin. So I think over 4 years, it'll probably do a lot better than real estate itself. But we could be wrong. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying that's what we're doing. It is before the halving. This will be the time to do it, right? Instead of going, hey, it's 2025, let me roll everything into it and hit the top. Says, Rob, when you're taking profits, how you decide if the profit should go to fiat, stable coins, Bitcoin, reinvest? Thanks for the videos. When you do it, you have to understand, right now, when I talk about taking profits, I'm not talking about take tens of thousands or thousands or hundreds. Depending on what you're doing, I'm not saying take profits of 25%. The only reason I take profits is to do little things here. And of course, when things just get stupidly overbought, like bonk, come on. When I want to take a couple of things off the table, and I just want to do it because I'm so used to buying. This is the problem in 2017 I went through. I didn't really feel the sell pressure because I'm just going to buy forever. Then in 2021, I got a little better, but I wasn't as good as I should be. And now I just tell people take some profits, take a little bit off the table, take 1%, take a couple $100, keep whatever you want to do, so you don't have that sell muscle atrophy or waste away and not be able to be able to pull the trigger. That's all I want. That's all I would like some people to do. Again, depending on what your goals are. So that's why I say take profits along the way, because at some point things are going to get overheated. I know people will say, but Rob, all the institutions are here. You don't understand. It's going to blow up and it's going to keep going up and keep going up. Look, every single time, this is just my opinion, the technology or the exuberance of the market far exceeds the technology and the adoption. And that's happened in 2013, and happened in 2017, and happened in 2021. I do not think this is going to be any different. Unless some nation, sovereign fund, major, first world country goes, you know what? This is what we're using now for our legal fiat, like El Salvador. I still think we get oversold, and at some point, and then we go, and the 4-year cycle will start again. I could be wrong this time, but the worst words in investment, this time is different. Crypto Steve says, Rob, what are your thoughts on Bitcoin Layer 2, such as Stacks and BRC20? I like Stacks. I bought it a long time ago. I bought a big chunk of it. So if you don't really like altcoins, I don't know if Stacks would be considered an altcoin, because if you look at Hal Finney and what he talked about, and a lot of the different Bitcoins, they always talk about how Bitcoin is the prime layer, right? It's layer 0, and you're supposed to be able to build on top of Bitcoin. So I don't see why anybody would call Stacks a shitcoin, because that's essentially what it is. It's a layer 2 solution built on top of Bitcoin as a smart contract platform. So for me, I'm like, if you like Bitcoin, you think that that's the next evolution, you should take a look at Stacks and ordinals and things like that. I mean, ordinals a little bit different, but I own ORDI, the ORDI token, but we'll see how that works out. RW7610, Rob, I'm pretty sure X will use Doge. What are your thoughts? Also, my next one. I'm just telling you, I don't know. It's all up to one guy, and I hate the fact that one guy is dictating essentially a lot of the crypto that people are holding. But if you think about it, Gary's doing the same thing. Nah, he's not doing that well. Elon Musk, if he comes out and starts to really push Dogecoin, and he hasn't said anything about crypto for quite some time, but can you imagine the pump of Dogecoin if he does come out and say, well, we decided that, we're going to use Dogecoin for payments, and that's what it's going to do. Or maybe it's a basket. We're going to use Doge, we're going to use XRP, we're going to use Bitcoin Lightning, we're going to use Solana, whatever you want, but we're going to use these specific cryptos. Those will pump so hard. That's why I diversify, because you never know. Alex Marquez says, why is everything dumping? Let's take a look. You might see a dump. Let me blow this up a little bit. So Bitcoin in the hour is down 0.2. Ethereum is up 0.2. BNB. Over 24 hours. You have to understand, though, like, I don't know why Avalanche is up at 2.6, but okay. Like, if it's me and there's a Bitcoin ETF, I'm not putting it into Shiba Inu, even though it's up 3%. I would personally think, well, if the ETF gets approved, it might go up a little bit. So maybe I put it into Bitcoin. I think that's what people are doing. They're selling their Monero. They're selling some Stacks. They're selling some ETH Classic here and there. Oh, maybe not. It's up 3. No, it's not. And they're rolling into Bitcoin. Now, some people are like, I don't want to do that. Like, they think Caspa is the next Bitcoin. Great. Celestia, up 15.6%. Bitcoin SV at 17.5. I have no idea why. People think that's the real Bitcoin. I'm not here to debate it. I don't really care, honestly. If Craig Wright is the real Satoshi Nakamoto, I don't know why he doesn't start moving all the things in his Bitcoin wallet, if that is his. Sound off in the comment section. Tell me how wrong I am. So, yeah. Fan of wrestling says, Rob, do you think there will be another Faron IDO? Nope, there's not. It's shocked me too. Like when I was talking to the 10 set guys, they're like, yeah, we'll probably, sell out in the first day, but not 3 minutes. So like I said, it's a good game. One of the co-founders of G2 Esports, which is like this legendary team in esports. I had no idea who they were. Ocelot. He's behind the game. He's kind of building in this like esports narrative, and they're going to use Bitcoin as like not a play to earn, but a win to earn. Win to earn. And I think that's pretty cool. You have a tournament or a league, mostly the tournaments, and you can win Bitcoin by what everybody puts in the pot. Imagine that. You've got teams from all over the world. Everybody has to like put in like a Bitcoin here or a Bitcoin there. And then maybe you have like smaller tournaments, just random folks like you and me, and we want to play and we get a piece of that. Pretty cool. But some people did say that the game's a little bit laggy. So, but it is in beta. But at least they have a game out. Bill Bo says, when moon? I think we got some time. I do. If we take a look at the 4-year cycles, we haven't even, you know what's crazy, everybody? And we talked about this 2 weeks ago. We are so far ahead. If we take a look, if we take a look at timelines from the end of December and January of 2019 into 2020, as far as like how things have actually progressed and the price appreciation as compared to December 2023, January 2024, just 2 weeks, we are massively ahead in Bitcoin and some really top-notch alts. So I think, like I said before, I said this on NFA Live, I think we got screwed out of a really impressive Bitcoin rally in 2021. I think the shenanigans going on behind the scenes with Scam, Wankman Fried, and Alex Mashkamsky, and Voyager, and all those guys, and then Three Arrows Capital, they screwed us. They screwed us out of the proper bull run that we should have had. And now that we purge all that, I think we're going to make up for lost time in this bull run. It's just a theory. And it could all go to zero tomorrow, of course. Yes, of course. Praz says, hey, Rob, if Cardano does well, like 20x or so, would you sell it and do short-term capital gains or hold until you get into long-term territory? So you have to understand, I'm in Puerto Rico, and capital gains are not a thing. They're just not. However, for me, if I was still moving around in Texas, would I take short-term capital gains? Yes, because you never know how things are going to go, and you should always try to pay yourself. And I would go with that, even if it's like, and remember short-term capital gains. Actually, no, I kind of go back on that one. If you're in the tax bracket here in the United States and it's 35%, right? You have to understand that if you take that, if you sell that, that means that you essentially are giving the government 35%. Now, if you go long-term, that's a year, but it goes to zero. No, because you never know when things can go to zero. You have to pay yourself a little bit and then keep sides. The government's always going to be there. The one thing that I would say, though, and I know this is about Germany. Germany, if you hold it longer than a year, you have no capital gains. So you have to take a look at it and go like this. I would sell a little bit, 10%, 15, 20%, pay the capital gains. I got it. The 80%, I'd let ride, kind of go just to see how it does. Because if we were closer to 2025, I'd be like, yeah, we might do it. But if he held on to it, I think it's all about timing. So that's my answer. Hey, Jake. That's okay. You made it today. That's good. I don't make it done. It's not like YouTube's gonna. It's not like YouTube is going to, notify you. Just how it is. Dirty Dan says, I heard about hypercycling your channel. Are you gonna mine any of it? It's hard to find info on it. It's hard to find info on it because they went through the audit process. It looks like they passed. And now to mint and move forward and get the mining operation, now that's in the second evolution. So I have my miner right here. Once I know, I'll let you guys know. But not sure. Awesome content, Dan. Not sure, but that site is excluding Cardano comments, I believe. Yeah, maybe. Whew. Man, James did a video a couple of days ago, and he ranked all the layer ones. And man, everybody's ticked off at him because of what he talked about with the TPS, the transactions per second for Cardano. And believe me, he knows about the EUTXO model. But I would recommend, if you're a Cardano fan, to go watch it, and then you can input your comments in his video. This is why I just say, look, whatever you want to invest into, you're probably gonna do pretty well in crypto. Like if we're talking like precious metals and other things, I don't know. But as we move into the next phase of the bull market, probably gonna do great. That's just how it is. Watch South Africa. Hey. Ken says, Ben's the biggest fraud in all crypto. Why in God's name would anyone follow him? Are we talking like Ben BitBoy? Are we talking about Ben from the Cryptoverse? Look, I know people give Ben a real hard time because he's like, because he said, hey, you know, alts are risky. And if you want to do it, you should take a cold shower. And I've asked Ben about this numerous times in FA Live. And he's like, yeah, he goes, I'm just going to go into Bitcoin because that's it. I always think, to me, I'm like, it makes sense what he said about the alts because he went through that in 2018 and 2019. And he saw, and he had to go through all the pain of like investing, and then it would just go down. It was just difficult. So he's like, you know what? Why I had to deal with this? I'm just going to go into Bitcoin. And you guys all know that. And he said it. He's like, look, I'm only going to go into Bitcoin. That's it. And then people are like, why did he tell me to go into alts? Look, I like Ben. I like what he says. I like what and if I would have gone into Bitcoin heavy in the beginning, I probably would have done a lot better. But in 2022, early 2022, I was DCing into alts. And I'm not still down on everything, but doing pretty good. And I mean, on the show, I was like, hey, I'm going to DCA into alts. He's like, that's cool. That was it. But Ben's, trust me, if you invested into just Bitcoin, yes, your percentages probably isn't as great as like getting into like bonk. I got it. But in all honesty, if you went into Bitcoin, you're doing a heck of a lot better than the S&P 500. Am I wrong? All right then. So that's that. And again, just because I say something, don't believe me. Like, who am I? I'm just some guy talking to his computer in front of this really nice green screen. So you really should do your own research and go, you know what? That doesn't make sense for me. I'm going to go this other route. Or maybe I'm going to take a little piece of that and go this way. That's all it really comes down to. How many times have you heard me be wrong? I'm wrong a lot. That's my wife. She'll tell you. Rob, have you sold any Matic and rolled into something else? Seems like it's like mine. Nah, I haven't really sold it because I'm like, it'll catch up. L2s some do pretty well, some not. Arbitrum just did a really nice little peak. I think it's doing pretty good. Arbitrum, Polygon, Optimism. So those types of things, I think they'll do pretty well. What happened to Trade the Chain? Woo, that's 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't know. Sentiment analysis, I thought it worked pretty well, but that's just it. Anything works everybody's a genius in the bull run. It's the ones that like can really buckle down and tell you like, hey, this bear market sucks, but these are things that we're getting into. It's going to do pretty well. There's a guy I follow on Twitter, a little smart guy. His name is Rob Art, and he really kind of hammers it home about how like, look, the bear market, that's where you make all your money, and right now it's all about taking profits. Interesting one, Rob Art, funny guy. You're welcome. Well, Panda, it was a great comment. CBDC is great. Hey, walking with pause. I really appreciate everybody who stops by because I know and I can feel it and you can feel it, the tourists that are coming. I don't want to deal with those tourists, man. I just don't. I just would like just us, right? The ones that have gone through all this stuff and not the geniuses who are going to come in who heard it from a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who's like, you know what? You got to put it all into and you got to take loans out. Man, I'm dreading these days. Oh, well. Max Payne is up. Yeah. Syed says, hey, Rob, new to the party. Have a small bag ready for the run. Will this be the last 4-year cycle to make gains? No. Too late for the party. What's your thoughts? Thanks for the great content. You got to remember, guys, that this will prove my point. Let's see. Let me show you my screen. I've shown this a lot. And for some of you who have been around for quite some time, you'll know what I'm going to show you. What do we have as far as our market cap today? Our market cap is a paltry 1.78 trillion. You know how much that is in Bitcoin? Not even $1 trillion. And that's good, but come on. The whole crypto market is 1.7 trillion. Look at this. This is a visualization of all funds and all value and all different assets. This scamming piece of trash, for some reason, had $26 billion at his peak. Whatever. Anyhow, this is from 2022. Here's the currency. All the currency is worth $8 trillion. Here's gold. Gold has 11.5 trillion. Here's all the billionaires. They're at almost $3 trillion. S&P 500, 36 trillion. And let's see, global money supply, M1 and M2. You're looking at $82.6 trillion. The New York Stock Exchange and all stock exchange together, you're looking at over 100 trillion. Debt, I don't want to get into that. Real estate, 326 trillion. Global wealth is 463 trillion. And derivatives, 12.4, notional value 600 trillion. Yeah. So when I think of it and look to myself and go, well, could we go up? Could it happen? Yeah, pretty sure. I haven't even scratched the surface. So hope I answered your question. I think we got a long ways to go. No. Could it be that Rob wears his Love Mashinsky shirt and jumps in the pool on Sunday? Well, it could happen. Remember, I'll jump in this pool when it hits 100K. Yes, atrophy. We're all slow learners, even myself. Randy says, should I take all my Bitcoin off exchanges? Depends on what you want to do. I think we all learned our lesson, didn't we? If you were here for Mt. Gox, you learned your lesson, and you were harping on cold storage, and we didn't listen. And then, of course, the collapse of exchanges. We all learned it. And we learned it from Voyager, we learned it from Celsius, we learned it from FTX. So now I would say, yes, you should always do that. I know some people will say, well, I'm a trader and I want to leave it on there. It's up to you. I'm not your dad. But I could recommend that you use one like this. I got 3. I have an Alipal, I have a Tangem, and I have a Ledger. And I use all 3 of those because I like to diversify even in my cold storage devices. If you're looking to see why I prefer this one the most, there's a link in the description. And of course, it's an affiliate link. If you can't stand affiliate links, go right to Tangem. Hopefully you find the right site. But watch the deep dive video and I explain why I think it's superior to all other ones. Now, it does have its drawbacks, but I love it. Works out pretty well. It happens. Let's see. Okay. Now, I will answer this. Top indicators to start selling. What a great question. In 2021, actually, I'll show you. There's a link in the description. There's 2 links I want you to notice. Sweet Mary and Joseph. Under this, it's the very bottom. It says strategies. This was my crypto exits, my old one. And what I really just did was I said, okay, here's some price predictions and here's some fractals. If XRP did this, it should do this. If Bitcoin did this, it should do that. And I just kind of laid it out at 100% and said, okay, at this price point, 20%, this price point, 20%. And some it worked out pretty well. Like Cardano worked out great. Theta, fantastic. Bitcoin, not so much because I thought it was going to go to 100,000. Didn't. Ethereum, I thought it'd go to 10,000. Didn't. And some other ones didn't really work out too great, but did a heck of a lot better than 2017. Now there's a video, and I've been harping on this forever, why and when I'm selling 80% of my crypto. And I want you to watch that video. And in that video, I'm going to talk about sell indicators. One of those being, and you can find this on Looking at Bitcoin. It's a free site. The NUPL makes things very brain dead easy because you can see like when things are like a good accumulation time. Like, wasn't this a great accumulation time? November 28, 2022 wasn't bad. And now we're kind of creeping up in this area. Once again, the red might be an idea to think about maybe doing some selling. How about this one? Pi cycle top. It did pretty good in 2013, in 2017, and almost hit the very tippy top in 2021. I'd be okay selling at 58,000, but okay. And then also Time and risk bands. Let's see if this will open up for me. This is on Ben's site. And you can take a look at different wristbands for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, BNB, Solana, and Chainlink. And it's kind of used those to kind of evaluate what it is. And there's a couple other ones. So again, watch that video. I talk about all these things in the video, and I don't just use just one. I kind of run them all together. So there is, you can kind of take it from there and do your best. Do your best work by doing your own research. Yes. And is it perfect? No. Yeah, Jay. I swear since Rob called out YouTube, I have to watch 2 fake AI crypto scans every time. So you guys know about the fake AI videos, right? So in the description of all my videos now, I said, don't fall for this AI scam. It's a quick 5-minute video. You're probably going to see them all day long, right? So just be aware of that. But there's this, let me see if I can find it. And then we got to AW3shield.io. And it was pretty cool because they're like paying in Polygon. Where to go? For you to report scams. It's pretty interesting. And then also what's cool about this one is that you can rank different KOLs or YouTubers or Twitter personnel, or I guess you call them influencers. And you can vote on them if they are scammers or not, which I like that whole idea. And then people go there and be like, hey, what about this guy? Is this guy? But again, this is all just opinion. I thought it was interesting. But yeah, they're actually paying people to report scams. I think that's pretty cool. Let's see. Hey, got 12 votes. And I've got trustworthy votes 11, and I have 1 shady vote. It's not bad. I'll take it. My man Gabriel, how's he doing? 5 trustworthy votes. How about Tommy Tom? I don't know what that is. Here's Miss Teen. 6 trustworthy votes. All right. Where's TOM? Tom Crown. 2 trustworthy votes. Very nice. Crypto Mom. None. I will give her an upvote. And I got to log in. Damn it. There's always something to this. All right. Anyhow, let's see. Kempatsu says, how come one wallet doesn't just support altcoins? It's a good question. I think the ones that can actually figure that out, they're going to be the super wallet. That's going to do really well. ICP wallet for ICP. Let me take a look. I know that. All right. Oh, I turn that on. No. Internet. Jesus Christ. No, it's not on. Unfortunately, it's not on TANGEM. Maybe it's on the ledger. This is why I use different ones so I can do those things. So sorry, Binky, I'm not for sure. Do you know Pith Network or Pyth? Yes, I own some. And that is in my TANGEM wallet. Is there a max amount you keep on one wallet? Not really, but I do like to disperse things between the 3. Crispin says, hey, Rob, start a secret channel for those of us who have been with you through the dregs and let the tourists flock the drain. There is a secret channel. I just don't talk about it. It's there. You've got to find it. And it's not on YouTube. But I don't talk about it because I don't want a lot of people there, and I don't need the scammers. So if you find it, welcome in. Wow. Check out Vegan Crypto channel. You ranked YouTubers and you're on top. Well, that's nice. Yeah, I try to get the point. Especially right now, I'm kind of floundering. Let's see. Anything else, guys? Let's get out of here. I don't want to take too much of your time. So look, that's it for today. If you like today's video, thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow could be fireworks. Tomorrow could be great, and I could wear that stupid shirt. So we'll see how it works out. I gladly wear it. But thanks so much, everybody, for stopping by. I do appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one. Adios.